How's it going, folks? My name is Dime, and I am here to tell you about my first month playing Dead by Daylight. So I just want to start off by saying that my first impressions of this game were a bit lackluster. I knew really nothing about it other than it was a 1v4 horror themed game, and the purpose was to either kill all the survivors or be the survivor and escape the killer. Through my first few days playing this, I quickly started to realize that there is a lot more depth here than what I initially thought.
Intriguing.
Then I started really getting hooked, and I played enough that I finally reached Red Rank 1. Now I know Rank 1 in this game isn't a terribly impressive feat, and there are players that would consider a Rank 1 match to be trivial. But for me, I found it to be engaging and challenging as I progressed through the ranks. So I mostly played Killer, but with the amount of Survivor that I did actually play, I was able to reach around rank 12. Truth is, the biggest downfall of playing Survivor is just dealing with other survivors.
You all suck.
It just seemed like most of my matches started out with just some Feng Min with a flashlight bum rushing the pyramid head on the other side of the map just so he can die on the first loop he comes to. Meanwhile, the other survivors and I are just failing skill checks on gens while this guy just spams unhook on himself until he reaches stage 2 and then just rage quits before we even get there. On the other hand of things, survivor matches can range from an electrician simulator to a legitimately good game where the killer is actually forcing you and your teammates to act as a team.
Teamwork.
Though most of my matches that I played were solo queue, I did play a bit of Survive with friends, which made a considerable difference in enjoyment playing Survivor, even though we lost most of our matches.
We suck!
So what can I say about Killer? On the surface, playing Killer is a simple enough role and plays as a first-person melee. Your average killer moves faster than your average survivor, and at low ranks you can often tell that you are legitimately scaring the living shit out of survivors. And if that gets you off, you should consider playing Hag, because the jump scares never stop. I really like team-oriented PvP games. MOBAs, shooters, battle royales. Name a game in any of these genres, and more than likely, I've sunk some time into them. I enjoy working as a team to achieve victory against other people, as it's usually very stimulating for me. But team-based games are really a double-edged sword. On one side, you and the boys kick ass and farm wins, and on the other, they could be having a complete shit game and making a ton of mistakes that directly affect you. And the same goes for you towards them. Not to mention the number of problems that can happen when playing with randoms. Find that playing Killer dulls the edges of the sword, meaning that if I win, it's because I made it so, and if I lose, I'm the only one to blame. You don't really get this from other team-based games. Killer truly tests your ability to operate as an individual, as your own team. It really has scratched an itch that I didn't know I had.
When you feel an itch.
And now, I want to talk about the dreaded M word. There is a lot of speculation that Dead by Daylight is pay to win, and for good reason. The progression system in the game is built around an RNG talent tree, which sounds kind of terrible, but Behavior has managed to execute it fairly well. It's comprised of a ton of add-ons and sacrifices, but the main focus are the perks. If you've played the game before, then I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. The problem resides in the acquisition of the perks. All the best perks in the game are tied to particular survivors or killers, and these characters are more often than not locked behind paywalls. Now, you could unlock some of the in-game characters just by playing, and if you're lucky, you could unlock some of the perks in the shrine. But all of this can be bypassed by just swiping your card. And no, I'm not saying that if you have all of the meta perks that you're going to win every single match you play. That is just not the case. But the perks do give you an edge. And where they're tied to characters that you have to buy, you are buying a competitive edge. A simple solution would be to do away with the shrine and make it so all perks are available to all players. And every time you come out with a new character, then the perks that are included with those are available to everyone. But if you must string your players along with a FOMO mentality, you might as well at least increase the interval in which perks change at the shrine. Now, let's take a look through Steam. If you scroll through, you can see a section that includes all of the DLC that they have for this game. And it prices upwards to $230. Yes, there are bundles to save you some money. And no, I'm not trying to shit on Behavior for selling the content that they make. But coming into the game after 5 years, they have accumulated quite a steep monetary catching up. So the bottom line is the game is great and truly a gem that I had overlooked for the last 5 years. DBD, like many other games, does have its fair share of problems, and the buy to win aspect is mostly a non-issue, as realistically, the perks only make up a fraction of player effectiveness, and ultimately matches are won based on a variety of factors and not just with what you can spend money on. Again, I mostly only played Killer for this first month, but I was so impressed with the game that I wanted to make a video on it, and I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to please hit the like and subscribe button, as this is a new channel and all the support that I get will be turned into motivation to keep pumping out videos. Again, my name is Dime, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.